Hello, Graphic Design 1 students. This is Fidgehorn, and we are starting our package design project. So you should have already downloaded your box templates, either 1, 2, 3 from your School Loop Locker. And it should be downloaded somewhere where you can find it easily. Now, we are going to be opening up designer.gravit.io. And you should see this screen here, and we have to create a new design. So I'm going to go ahead, and if we're going to create a product that is 4 by 4 by 4 times so many panels, obviously there's so many sides to a box. I'm going to go ahead and say that we should probably go ahead and make this big enough to fit all those sides. So I would go ahead and make it, let's try, we can always make the canvas bigger later. Let's go ahead and try 17 inches. Let's make the width bigger than the height for now. It's going to depend on your template. You might have to adjust your canvas later, but let's go ahead and do 23 by 18. All right, and this is just a rough guesstimate. We again might have to adjust our canvas later. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Make sure that it is not set to pixels or you're in trouble. Make sure it's set to inches. All right, and we're going to hit create. Now you'll see that my canvas is a horizontal canvas, but as you know, you can go ahead and modify the document if you need to. Now you can see down here in our document that our unit is set to inches, which is great, and we have our rulers up here and our rulers down the side. And then we also are in RGB color mode, and where it is 72 DPI. I would go ahead and try to, let's sneak it to 300 and see if they pop us on that one. All right, now you can also see here that on this page here, we've custom sized the page, and it is a background of white. Now, generally our artboards in Adobe, we add the color by doing a colored rectangle, but here you can actually choose a background. If you hover over your artboard, you can choose a color, gradient, or texture, but we don't want that because we're putting a template on top of this. All right. If we do need to create bleeds or margins, which we will talk about in our final, starting when we get back, we'll do that then. But for right now, let's see, we can flip our canvas and rotate the canvas. So if some of you download the template that is vertical, then you can make your page go more this way. So do know that you can customize. Don't freak out if your artboard is facing the wrong way when you choose your template. So now what we have to do is put that template that we're going to design on top of right here on top of our artboard. So if you go into File, all right, and then you go ahead and we're going to go to Import because we want to place an image. If we were in Illustrator, the directions are slightly different, but you can just hit Place directly. In this case, go to Import and then Place. All right, and then it's going to ask us where we want to grab that from. So I had downloaded, I forgot about this. Our school computer doesn't let teachers download things directly for some reason, so let me pull one of my box templates onto the desktop and let's try this one more time. Come on, Fidgehorn, get it right. Place image, desktop. Go through all of my wonderful downloads of artwork, and I will go ahead and find what's called the box template. Maybe I should look in alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, and look at that. My template for box template number 1 is facing the wrong way. Look at that, it's vertical. So maybe I should rotate. There we go. Check it out, guys. Right? So now it pretty much almost fits, but it looks like it's missing a few lines, which is really strange. But obviously, for it to have a top, a middle, and a bottom, it should look more like this. Let's see. So it's missing some of its components for some reason, and I don't know why. It's very strange that it would be missing some of the components. Let's go back and look and see it, grab it. What's going on here? It's very interesting. Not sure about that. You might have to go back and forth and just reference the template on your desktop. Okay, let's see if maybe pulling one in off to the side. No, it won't show on the side. So let's just go ahead and leave it right there. Yeah, so weird. So as you can see, once you pull it in, each one of these little areas is editable. And to create the rest of the box, and you can always reference the box template by having the image open, you could always Command C, Command V, copy and paste a second one. Look at that. See, I'm fixing my box. I'm being proactive. Command C, Command V. All right. And it's strange that you might have to create outlines on it if it's not showing you any outlines. All right. Do remember that in your appearance, you can go ahead and create a border just so you can see. Obviously, you don't want borders on your panels because if you look at any package, pull out a cereal box from your house, there's no black outlines on each one of the panels. It's just so that you could see while you're designing. All right. And then from that point on, what I want you guys to do is to realize and maybe label off to the side what's the top, what's the flap, what's the folded in tabs. And you can create, like if you're going to color your whole box, let's say for instance, pink is your background. All right, a solid pink. If you hold the shift key and you click all your little panels, let's see, yep, there's one there even though we can't see it. I would go ahead and just hold the shift key and create your background color all at once and select all your bits and pieces. And how you know it's selected is as you can see these little diamonds show up. All right. Eek. See if there's anything else that I'm missing. Nope. All right, now I've selected every single piece and I know in my fill I can go in here and I can choose a color, gradient, or texture. Listen to this. For those of you who want textured boxes, you can do that. So check it out. Not only can I choose a color background, so let's say my color background is going to be for some reason it's only selected so many of them. So as you can see, Gravit's quite prohibitive, but you can go and do generally you can go and do all your background at once. I'm just not quite sure why it's not allowing me to. In Adobe, you couldn't just color them all at once. In this case, you may possibly have to, annoyingly enough, go in and choose each one separately. All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that we're using Gravit, but you'd want all your background consistently the same color more than likely. All right. So I just want to show you guys how to color each panel. And if you want to label each side, use the text tool to go ahead and label it. All right, so I would maybe do this, the flap. Okay, and you could always increase that over here to make it bigger or smaller so that way you can actually see your printing. Sorry, I thought it was selected. There we go. There we go. Got to pay attention to details, Fitchorn. So now I know this is the little front flap. Right, and then label each one of the areas around the artboard so you know you can keep track of your sides. And then you probably want to bring in your barcode and your nutrition panel. So let's say I'm making a cupcake box. So then I would go again, file, go ahead and get my nutrition panel. Now it's a fake nutrition panel. You don't have to make it real with calories and everything. It's just a placeholder. File, import, place image. So I'm going to look for my nutrition panel alphabetically. Thought I put it down here. There it is, box design nutrition panel. Yeah. And look how cute that is. Now, obviously, if you hold the shift key, listen, this is very important. Hold the shift key and drag from a corner to scale properly. Notice that the width and the height are scaling at the same time. Let go of the mouse first and then the shift key. All right. What you want to do is not do this. If I see you to make it fit your box, do this. If I see you even trying to make it fit longer like this, I know a stretched image when I see it, and I'm not going to be happy with it. All right, you cannot stretch images in as a graphic designer. It's absolutely forbidden. People will make fun of you and your design work. Nobody will trust your work. You will look unprofessional in the real world. So I'm going to scale this down, and I'm going to determine that because I know this is the top of the box, that's the back, that's the bottom. Maybe I want the nutrition panel on the bottom, but once you're done folding it, the way it folds on the bottom, oops, that's a little bit rotated weird. There we go. If you hold the shift key while you're hovering on a corner and rotating it, it'll snap to an accurate 90 degrees, so you don't have to worry about it being crooked. So I know when I look on the bottom, I want this facing a certain way, right? Not all the sides are going to face up. And then you want to go ahead and place your barcode. So let's see, I better download from my locker a barcode. I'll go ahead and pick a reverse barcode, and I'll download it, even though I don't think that'll look great on the box. There we go. Let's go back to our product. Let's go File, and we'll go Import Place Image. And that's barcode. Not so happy about the reverse, but I'm just trying to show you guys in the tutorial. And so then maybe the barcode's on the side for easy scanning purposes. I don't know, but we know obviously if this is the top, this is the back, this is the bottom, this is the front, I'd probably want a barcode on a side panel, which will be facing probably when I fold it like this way, right? And I probably don't want a barcode filling my whole entire, that's really, but don't make it this small. I've had students make things, like if you look on the scale of things, I've had students literally make barcodes like this small, and I'm like, no, that's not real. If you can't scan, how many of you guys have gotten to a check stand? Oops, hold my shift key, there we go. How many of you guys have gotten to a check stand and you cannot scan that barcode and you have to call somebody over to help you out, right? It's not fun. So here we've got our little barcode placeholder. See, if you get it too small, it starts looking a little wonky. I'd put the barcode's the most unattractive thing. I'd put it on the bottom of the box if I rethought this out. Now, that's how to kind of get started, and that's your final goal. When we get back, I will show you guys how to put patterns on separate areas. You can apply, well, not only in here can you go into your fills and you can choose, don't forget, you could choose gradients, or you can choose a texture or some, look at that, what, oh my goodness, now that's starting to look like a Vans box. You could choose some noise, ooh, that's a lot. What's a background fill? Let's see. What would a background fill be? That I'm gonna have to learn about. I'm not sure what that's all about. But whoa, that's crazy wild. I like that with the pink though. It's a possibility. But I'm going to show you guys how to apply, like, let's say you want to make your box like all rainbow pattern, or maybe you guys want your box to be roses because it's got candle in it. I will show you guys that when we get back. But until then, this is what you're doing for today. And I hope this tutorial helps you at least get started. Don't forget that you have to save your file. All right, right now it says it's untitled and nothing's saved. So we're going to go File, maybe someday. Hold on, File. And so we want to save to our local computer. You can save it to the Gravit Cloud, but I'm always skeptical about saving it to a program. It's always going to be your last name, your first initial, your underscore, and this is going to be called package design, right? You need to save it somewhere where you remember. I love to save stuff on my desktop, or I can't find it. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. And you have to save your working file, because if you don't do that, everything will be lost. All your layers, all your work will be lost. You have to save your working document in Gravit. It's called a GV design file. It's not openable anywhere, even to view, except in Gravit. Hit save. Now that we've done that, that's the first step. Then we could go File. And when you're all done, let's pretend we're all done. We're all done. You want to save it as both a JPEG and a PDF. The PDF is for me to view, and the JPEG is for you to put on your digital website. All right, when you save it as a PDF, I guess it'll only let us go to 150 DPI. Again, last name, first initial, underscore, package design. put it where you know you find it, PDF, save. And then you need a JPEG of your final one for your digital website. All right, and that is it. Thanks, kids.